The bliss of the abyss, it's here now.
Hello and welcome back to the Bliss of the Abyss. My name is Robert Newmark Jones. I am your host for this and indeed every episode, bar the occasional special edition. Those of you who are fans of the show will know about that, and exciting news on that front. We might indeed have the elusive, illustrious Nils Hennister perhaps in studio. Coming soon, the much requested return. And it's not even been that long since he was last here. So how exciting and what a treat for all of you and for me and for him. And, you know, all of you, I suppose, included him and maybe me. But this just more definitively does. So that's a wonderful thing. And that will be coming soon. I also have a slew, love that word, slew of guests coming up soon, all in some way or another related to the production, The Passenger, that I'm in, which has been slightly responsible for the slowdown in output of content on this feed. I'm going to have a number of the people involved coming in to the show to talk about, of course, the production, but also about their lives. I've met some really interesting, talented, creative, fun, wonderful people, and I think you'll be excited to hear them tell their stories and come on and chat and shoot the breeze and regale. Another good word. Oh, I'm full of them today. Regale you with tales of the unexpected. In my life, I have been up to the play. The play really does take up quite a lot of my time. And I have some good news. We are now fully sold out. The whole thing, look at that. Before even the second week is over, we have sold out all of our shows. So if you do want to come, well, either we'll have to squeeze in a few more shows. Keep an eye out for that on all your social feeds, or else, I don't know, pull a favour, ask me for something, you know, maybe offer something in return. There's no free lunch, although I'm quite hungry and food's in the fridge and that could be free, couldn't it? Well, no, someone bought it. There's no free lunch. There's no biological free lunch. There's no figurative free lunch. There's no literal free lunch. In fact, I'm going to try and power through so that I don't even have any lunch, free or paid otherwise. But thank you to everybody who has come along to the show and supported us to get to this amazing milestone of selling out the run. It's so exciting. It's been such a great project and I can't wait to see what's next. Hopefully there will be more for those of you who are unable to see it this time around. Can't say really anything about that, but hopefully there will be a future and what an exciting thing that would be. So yes, that's that.
The Bliss of the Abyss.
Well, what am I doing today? I'm producing an episode of this podcast for you because it's about time, isn't it? I thought it would be a nice thing to do. And I don't really have much to discuss because my life has been so busy with the show. But that doesn't stop me producing content. Hey, look, when I've got nothing on, what do I have to talk about? When I've got loads on, what do I have to talk about? So what I thought I'd do is this episode have a usual ramble chat, TM, about, you know, stuff and maybe share a few anecdotes and behind the scenes stuff that I've heard or that have happened to me, indeed. The most recent one being the injury sustained by a pillow. So the show yesterday, I am falling apart at the seams. Yeah, as some of you may know, I tore my meniscus during rehearsals, and so I am running around on stage in a very controlled way. And although it may look insane, it's all detailed because I have a ripped piece of meniscus floating in my left knee. And so putting a foot wrong, figuratively and metaphorically, wait, that's the same thing, figuratively and literally. I'm going to stop saying that soon, would be a disaster for my knee, for the show, for my life, etc. But I am going to be meeting with a surgeon next week to discuss what to do about the fact that I'm crocked. But that was an injury caused by a microwave. And this next one was an injury caused by a pillow. So in the course of the show, there is a moment at which I must collapse and save myself from falling all the way to the ground with the aid of a nice soft pillow. What a lovely thing to collapse onto. Well, it turns out some pillows have nails in them, big screws sticking up that you'd never know. So in the middle of the show, I collapsed onto the pillow, and I immediately felt a sharp sting of white-hot pain sear through my body. No, it really hurt. And stole a look at my hand. This is all as the play is going on, and I'm talking and acting and all of those kinds of things that you have to do in a play. Otherwise, it doesn't really work. And I thought, oh, that's going to bleed. What do I do? I was actually in a scene with a character playing a nurse at that time, and I thought, well, I'll just ask. Well, I'll just ask this lovely nurse for a plaster. But of course, she wasn't a real nurse, just acting as a nurse. So I was sort of unsure what to do, and I could see the blood was starting to release. And at that moment, I was handed a prop. It's a passport. That's not a spoiler, don't worry. So immediately, I grabbed the passport. Thank you very much. Still acting, blah, 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 blah. And I just put the passport in my pocket and just pressed my hand hard against this paper passport and just started blotting and just desperately attempting to apply pressure and hoping that I didn't bleed out, that there wasn't some sort of major artery hit, that it wasn't stigmata, that I am not indeed holy, and just carried on. Started to feel perhaps a little bit less normal, a little bit more woozy. I mean, nothing too serious, but, just acting along, going from scene to scene, until I couldn't really have my hand in my pocket any longer, at which point I withdrew my hand and dared glance down, and the bleeding had stopped, although I did, of course, have a patch of encrusted blood that I then had to suck off. Don't clip that, hey? Don't clip that moment and use it against me.
The bliss of the abyss is here now.
And it was, thank God, it was fairly towards the end of the show at that point. And so the show finished, and we did our bows and we exited, and exited the stage, and went back to the green room and pulled out this passport, and it was just covered and smeared in my blood. And so hopefully we have a new prop that I can use, because that one is, shall we say, tainted. Now, to my immense credit, wow. Nobody noticed, none of the cast, none of the audience noticed, but I would say that be careful of pillows. They may appear soft, but I'm sure there's an idiom here. All that glitters is not gold is not quite right, but I think it captures the spirit of what I'm trying to say. So that's a little peek behind the scenes of what we do at the show, what the life, the glory, the glamour of Fringe Theatre is, where I am not only my own actor, that's perhaps a given, props, head of props, makeup, hair, oh, the hair. Speaking of which, I can't wait to be rid of this mustachio. It's really, every time I look in the mirror, I am looking at the slug uponst my lip. And I've never been a moustache guy. I don't know if any of my listeners are moustache guys or gals, and I do fully support your decision to sport a beautiful tash, but it's not for me. It is for Otto, but it's not for Robert. So there's a little behind the scenes, behind the curtain of the show. What else has been happening? Speaking of passports, I did get my new passport. No longer in the EU. But don't worry, I have my European passport as well. And I'm looking to add a few more collections. A few more collections? No. a few more additions to the collection. So if anybody has any nationalities they'd like to share with me, I'd be more than happy to join the team. What else? The 9p milk finally expired. And by expired, I actually mean was finished. I bought must be 4-litre bottle or gallon. It was gallons. As my lovely American wife would say. It wasn't 4 gallons, though. Sheesh. How many gallons is 4 litres? Convert gallons to litres, Alexa. What's that? You're not here, you don't exist, and you won't. Well, I'll do it myself in my head. 4 gallons, he didn't type at all. 4 gallons in litres is, remove sound of typing, please. What am I going to... Okay, I won't cheat too hard. What do you reckon it is? I've seen them. 7. 12. It's 4 gallons. In litres is 3.7. Wait, no, that's how many litres are in 4 gallons. So 16. Actually, more like 15. So I was pretty close with my second and, of course, as we all know, more important guess. Second guess more important than first, always. So I bought a 9p gallon of milk. And it lasted for absolutely weeks. And basically, I've been making kefir. Now, before you call me a wanker, I've already done that myself. But if you still want to call me a wanker, really, then you should blame Dan from the cast, Dan Milne, because he's the one who got me into the kefir. And now I'm making my own kefir at home. What is this? Lockdown? Yes, that's right. I've been eating absolutely delicious meals now that I have a trad wife. Hello, Caitlin, that's for you. There was a weird synchronicity that happened in our lives, which is that around the same time I got the play, Caitlin was made redundant. And so I had a bit more time at home without me, but also in the evenings I've been doing the play. And so Caitlin's been cooking, and I've been so lucky to be able to eat those meals the next day in the microwave and eat these wonderful, delicious meals. And I now have a trad wife. Listen, I think all those Christian nut jobs are onto something. Why don't you pop down the shops and fetch yourself 9p milk and a trad wife? It's simple. No, I'm just joshing. But I have been eating these delicious meals because of her fun employment stage at the moment. It also coincided with the health journey of losing Christmas weight and not drinking any alcohol, which I can thoroughly recommend. It's been fantastic. It's the kind of thing that when you go to the park and you look for the pelicans and you don't find the pelicans, and you walk around the whole park and you don't see any pelicans, despite there being pelicans meant to be at the Pelican Park, you don't lose your mind at all. And that's why I'm talking completely normally. This is just me, regular. This is me on the regs.
Sie hören gerade das Glück des Abgrunds. Wow, wow, wow.
So, yeah, this is just a little pop-in, bit of fun kind of show here for you today. I can't stay here long. I have to go in. We have our play this evening, and wish me luck, because tonight is the night the director will be in for the first time after quite some time. So hopefully I don't have a bundle of notes about how I'm doing everything completely wrong and nothing is what we set it should be. And actually, your name isn't even Otto anymore, okay? We've changed the whole thing, and here are 3 new pages of rewrites. Now, obviously, that's not the situation, but I'm sure a keen external eye on proceedings will help us refine and redirect this wonderful, amazing play that I'm so proud and humbled to be a part of. Thanks again for listening to the show. I love you very much. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.
she's calling to see if maybe you're in now, but I guess not, so I guess I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night. Talk to you then. Bye.